Hello guys, how are you? My name is Marcus Magiolo. I'm an author and also an animal behaviorist. Thank you very much for being here watching this video. And today I want to talk about something that is very important, that is about publisher scammers. And it's something that is, I never thought that I will be dealing so much with those kind of people, but recently and nowadays I just see it's getting worse and worse. So a little bit of my background here, if you don't watch my videos or if you don't know who I am. A few years ago, I published my first book, and this book was Canine Legends, a dog agility story. And when I published that book, I had zero knowledge about the publishing industry. What happened with that book is I wrote that book because it was for my dog. My dog passed away, so I'm not gonna tell the whole story here. I have a video here in the channel telling all the story, but pretty much uh, it helped me writing memories I had about her, and somebody thought that would be a good book, and then we wrote a book, and then I self-published this book. At this point, I didn't even know the concept of self-publishing and the concept of having a publisher. So pretty much I went to Amazon KDP. That is like the self-publishing tool that Amazon offered to everybody. And I did everything myself. I did the format, I did the cover, I did everything. And the book was very successful, and I wrote two sequels, like volume 2 and volume 3. And I just discovered that I love to write, and since then I start writing other books. But I remember that after I published Canine Legends Volume 3, that book stayed at #1 on Amazon for like 12 days. And even till today is my book that most sell. Uh, but after that book was publishing, also self-published, I start getting a lot of emails and calls. And those emails and calls were supposed to be from publishers. And those publishers were offering me, they were promised me the world. They will promise me they will take me to other platforms. They will make me successful. They will make me famous. They will take me to podcasts. They will, they promised me a lot of things. But there was a catch on that. To be able to reach that, I had to pay them money up front. So some of those guys asked me $1,000. Some of those guys asked me $4, $5, $6,000. And I'm not ashamed to say that I paid one of those guys because they were so convinced that I really just paid them and say, okay, I'm about to write my next book that's gonna be my daughter's dog, and I hope those guys will help me to achieve everything they are promising. But the reality was completely different. This company, I'm not gonna say the name here, but this company said what everything that he promised to me, he never did. So it was pretty much like I developed the cover of the book, I developed the story, I still self-publish on Amazon, and they promised me all the marketing, they promised me all the visibility in other platforms, they promised me interviews, they promised me even big podcasts, interviews, and nothing. So then I start digging a little bit more in this publishing industry, and I discover what they call hybrid publishing. And pretty much hybrid publishing are those companies who ask money upfront, promising you that they will make you a big thing. And pretty much what they do is everything you can do by yourself when you are self-publishing yourself, just doing the book yourself. And I learned my lesson that day. And even today, I now have 5 books published. I'm preparing my 6th book, and every time somebody call me or email me offering me services, I don't even pay attention on them. I just delete the emails when I answer my phone, and after the first 30 seconds of conversation, I hang up, and I just like don't even give him more space to speak with me. And of course, there is the traditional publishing, and the traditional publishing is real publishers that don't ask don't ask you money up front. They don't ask you to pay $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 up front. They offer you a contract, and in this contract says that sometimes they will pay you. Many times they will pay you a money up front because they're buying your story, and then you're gonna pay back with your sales. And they will work with you side by side with you to try to sell your book, because if they want to be successful, they need to make you successful. And that's what we call traditional publisher. The problem is it's very difficult to achieve a traditional publisher. It's not easy. There is tools nowadays that you can try, like Query Tracker is one, where there's a list of serious publishers there, and you can send your material and wait for them to answer you. I've been doing that, but it's very hard. I had 2 or 3 publishers, real publishers, interested in my books, but they take months and months and months to answer you back. So that's why I've been just self-publishing my books. So I'm making this video because I recently went to see a client, because I also, as I say, I still work as an animal behaviorist. And this client was writing books, and he was so happy, so excited that a publisher had contacted him, interested in his story, and he was a hybrid publisher. And when I told him what happened with me, he was very sad and disappointed, because that's what those people do. Those hybrid publishers, they use the dream, they make you feel special, and then they use all that against you. So be careful with that. And it's a very difficult situation, because if I tell you a little bit about myself nowadays, right now, I don't trust anybody in the publishing industry at this point. I don't. And I never know if the person who's calling me is a serious person or is not, because I had so many people trying to mess up with my books, that I say I don't trust anybody else. So I'm just going to continue self-publishing. But I hope that one day a traditional publisher look at my books and invest a little bit on me. That's the goal. That's the dream. But be careful. Do not trust on what hybrid publishers tell you. And if somebody say that is interested in your book, interested in your story, and ask any penny up front, run away. Hang up the phone, delete the emails, because there's a serious risk of you being scammed. Thank you very much for watching this video.